Hi, it's Dave from Vinyl Nirvana. Today we're tackling one of the more labor-intensive and tricky repairs that are out there for a TD-125 or TD-125 Mark II, and that's replacing the mirror if it's fallen out or broken. Unfortunately, it's not an easy swap to do that. It really involves major dismantling of the turntable in order to accomplish this. And I'll lead you through the steps, and if you feel comfortable, go ahead and give it a try, and if not, you'll just have to live without the strobe feature. I've got an air sprayer. I've got 3 quart paint cans with towels to protect the surface of the turntable, and then for tools I've got a small file, a straight screwdriver. You might need a Phillips depending on how your bottom is held on. And I've got a 6mm socket, which really makes the job easier for removing some nuts that are on the underside there. I've got some super glue, and I've got a piece of non-linting cloth that I'm going to use right now in order to remove the drive platter. So you can see I removed the belt, the large platter. I've taken the head shell off. I've got this tone arm secured with a bread tie. I chose to leave the counterweights in place. That's up to you. But we're going to remove this drive platter, and just to keep the oil from making a mess of everything, we're going to put a lint-free cloth in there to keep it clean and to keep things from getting messy. So the very next thing you're going to do is to turn the table upside down and remove the bottom. And in order to do that, we're going to use these stands, these makeshift cans that we're using as stands. Obviously you want to be very careful of your motor as you turn this over, and very careful of your tone arm. So you want to make sure that your turntable is not resting on the motor or on the tone arm. Okay, so this is solidly in place. The cans are solidly on each side of this. And I'm going to adjust the camera here, and I'm going to show you removing the bottom. Now, I've already removed a couple of these screws, but basically to remove the bottom, it's 1 screw at each corner. Keep track of the screws. You're going to need those again, obviously, at the end of all this. Okay, now you're in the underside of the table. And I'm going to bring this camera a little closer and give you an overview of what we're going to be tackling next. Okay, there are 3 screws that hold the top plate in place, and they are located here, here, and here behind this transformer. This particular turntable right now does not have a cable hooked up to the SME arm, but you will have to disconnect this cable, and if there's a ground hookup, you'll have to disconnect that. But basically, this layer of the turntable under here needs to be able to be lifted off the other layer of it. There is a cable tie here. I don't think that's going to, a cable clamp over here on the back side. I don't think that's going to get in our way because that part of the table is going to remain intact. So those are the basic things. So just make sure that the arm, anything that's connecting this to this portion of it, needs to be disconnected. And I'm going to stop the video now and pick up with the next part.